The Mountain, Felix Bautista nearing his return to real action. Is he being disrespected already? Hello, everybody. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. This is where you will get all of your Orioles news with myself, my colleague Cameron Bryce, all throughout the season. We're less than a month from opening day, and we all have our eyes on all things birds. So please like, subscribe, do all the things. Today, is Felix Bautista being disrespected at the national level? What is the latest with Felix? When will he be back? What's his velocity like right now? That will delve us into a discussion of where we are with the bullpen, who are the outsiders looking in, and then also we have injury updates on Gunnar, on Westy, and on Trevor Rogers and Chase McDermott as well. But as I said, let us begin with the Mountain. And this headline, my friends: returning Baltimore Orioles star left out of top 10 reliever rankings. Subhead: the O's star will have to earn his way back into the elite reliever conversation. Here's the deal. ESPN's Buster Olney, one of the best out there, one of the best, released his ranking of the top 10 best relief pitchers. Missing was our Felix Bautista. He was instead in the honorable mention category. Now look, I get it. It's fair to be a little leery of a reliever coming back from elbow surgery. He was out an entire year. Luckily, the O's had a few years of team control over Bautista. If you look at his body of work, at least his recent body of work, because he had a late start to his career, right? He didn't start until he was 27 years old. And so if you look at it, he started at 27, but he wasted no time. A 2.19 ERA with 12.1 Ks per 9 in 2022. And then obviously 2023 was the breakout year. I want to ask you, do you believe that at this moment, Felix Bautista should be listed as one of the top 10 best relief pitchers in all of baseball? Or do you believe that he should have to prove it? Let's look at the spring so far. Small sample size, right? But we do know that Ben McDonald spent time with Felix out in the bullpen in his first couple sessions. And Ben reported that Felix was throwing around 94, 95 with the sinker. Look, that's well below the almost 100 that he averaged during 2023, but that's to be expected with a major injury like this. It always takes time to get the velocity up. Even Brandon Hyde has said, look, early season, you're not going to see that kind of velocity from Felix, most likely. For his part, Felix says, I feel good. We have a quote from Felix: I feel content where I am right now with the work that I'm putting in. I know I'll get back to previous form. And he says he feels about 85, 90% ready for opening day, which is fine because we still have, a shade less than a month before opening day. So again, I ask you, my friends, give me the comments. Tell me what you think. Is Felix a top 10 reliever? Do you believe he will return to form? I do. And he doesn't have to be the 2023 version of himself, in my opinion. He only has to be close to that version of himself, close to the stud that he was in 2023. Now, speaking of bullpen, let's look at it for a second because I love it. I think this bullpen could easily be top 5 in baseball, okay? With Andrew Kittredge, then you have Sir Anthony Dominguez, you have Greg Soto, you have Cionel Perez, Suarez will probably start in the pen, most likely, definitely start in the pen to start the season as a long reliever. He can't be sent down. None of those guys actually can be sent down. Then you have Felix, you have Yennier Cano, and you have Keegan Aiken. Those are the locks. So that's your sort of bullpen, the way it sits right now. Now, there are two guys to keep your eyes on who are on the outside looking in. And that is Roansy Contreras, who you all know from previous pieces I've done. I'm a fan of this guy. This guy's got the mid-90s fastball. He's got that great slider. His slider was a 107 stuff plus rating. 100 is average. So Roansy could really make some waves. Keep in mind, though, Roansy's out of options. He either makes the team or he goes to waivers. And if he clears waivers, then, of course, he could end up at AAA. But keep your eye on Roansy Contreras because I believe that he is certainly a strong possibility should someone falter and should the Orioles not lose him through waivers. And then, of course, you have Brian Baker. Brian Baker is still hanging around, still, yes, on the outside looking in, most likely for opening day. But he can't be optioned either. I mean, so the Orioles are going to have some hard decisions to make because neither of these guys can be optioned. And so it will be very interesting to see if these guys end up elsewhere, if they end up on the roster, if they clear waivers and end up in AAA. Speaking of clearing waivers, let's look at our injury updates as we stand right now. Thank goodness it appears that Gunnar's discomfort and minor injury and concussion protocol, that yes, he will sit out a couple more games, but he will be back very soon. It also appears Jordan Westberg, a little bit banged up, but being held out for precautionary reasons. And so it looks like good news on that front as well. And then Trevor Rogers and Chase McDermott still banged up, but making their way back as well. So we expect to have them back soon as well. So look, all in all, good injury news across the board. The real question, will Felix Bautista be the Felix Bautista that he was in 2023? Does he need to be? Is he being disrespected by the national media, or does he have to earn that back? We know his velocity won't be where it was right out of the gate, but what will he bring this season? And what he brings could make or break the Orioles' chances at a world championship. I'm Jon Leiberman. This is Orioles Digest. Thanks for watching. See you soon.